Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight as we are tracking breaking news. A Spokane veteran has died from the coronavirus. The state VA office says that patient already had underlying medical conditions and was on end-of-life care before. Staff have been and will continue to closely monitor all other residents. We know right now that another veteran at the Spokane Veterans Home has also tested presumptively positive for the virus. The VA office says that person's symptoms, though, have improved since testing. Other top news today, Joe Biden now the likely 2020 Democratic presidential nominee after Bernie Sanders announced the end of his campaign this morning.
So while we are winning the ideological battle, and while we are winning the support of so many young people and working people throughout the country, I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful.
Now, Sanders added while his campaign is coming to an end, his movement is not. He proceeded to congratulate Biden, calling him a decent man, but declined to endorse him there on the spot. And after Sanders announced the end of his campaign, Biden then told Sanders in a statement, quote, "You will be heard by me, as you say, not me, us." Biden also addressed the senator's supporters, saying, "I see you, I hear you, and I understand the urgency of what it is we have to get done in this country. I hope you will join us. You are more than welcome. You're needed." All right, let's get right to the top three local headlines and stories you need to know today. Washington healthcare unions are demanding coronavirus hazard pay for workers. The Washington State Nurses Association issued a joint statement this morning. It said nurses, techs, respiratory therapists, and service and maintenance workers across healthcare facilities are putting our own lives on the line to respond to this crisis. Simply coming to work puts us at heightened risk. They recognize the heroic efforts of workers on the front lines of this pandemic by providing hazard pay increases to all healthcare workers for the duration of this crisis. And Providence then responded with another statement saying, quote, "Providence cares for all patients, no matter the condition they present with. Every day, our caregivers give care for patients with infectious diseases. With the advent of COVID-19, the high-quality care provided continues in the same manner. We are not offering hazard pay based on any one particular patient's diagnosis." Well, in other news tonight, the deadline to remove those studded tires here in Washington has now been extended to the 15th of May. This is the second time, actually, that it's been extended this year because of concerns from the virus. In March, the department extended the original deadline to April 30th, but again, it has now been extended into May. Costco announced it will give priority access to its warehouses to healthcare workers and first responders. The company says they will be allowed to move to the front of any line at any store's location. Customers simply need to show a membership card as well as an official ID card with their role on it. In Washington, there are now 421 coronavirus deaths among more than 9,000 cases. Close to 90,000 people in Washington have been tested, which equals about 8.6% of the cases or people who are being tested positive. Meanwhile, there are 239 cases in Spokane County. 13 deaths have been confirmed as of today. More than 40 people have been hospitalized, 15 still receiving care tonight. And as we take a look across the state line as well, in Idaho, now just over 1,200 confirmed cases. Kootenai County is reporting 42 confirmed cases. Bonner County has 3. With a total of 15 deaths along with 93 total hospitalizations. And let's take a look in Montana right now. 13 new cases have been confirmed just today, bringing the state total now to 332. Kalispell has 31 confirmed cases. Lincoln County right now is reporting 7. Now, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward, along with Health Officer Dr. Bob Lutz, hosting a virtual town hall tonight to talk about this local community's response to the coronavirus. Speakers will answer as many of your questions as they can during that time. So you can participate by calling the number right there at the bottom of your screen, or it's not there, but it should be. KREM will be airing a portion of that town hall this evening. Live streaming will also be available on KREM.com as well as on Facebook. And I believe that is, nope, those are the comments and photos. But we will make sure to get you that phone number, and that begins tonight at 6 o'clock. All right, new at 4, the Army Field Hospital at CenturyLink Field is being deployed now to another state. Governor Inslee announced the hospital is being returned to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. That way it can be used in another state with more significant need. That field hospital was set to open this week in Seattle. Around 500 military medical personnel were assigned to that 250-bed field hospital. It was meant to help treat non-coronavirus patients and free up beds at area hospitals. In the meantime, a vacant Tacoma motel will now serve as a temporary coronavirus quarantine site. It's specifically for those who have been exposed to the virus but are not able to self-quarantine in their homes. Guests also have to meet other requirements. They must be able to perform daily activities without any assistance. They will also need a referral from a physician, the health department, or from first responders.
These people probably don't need hospital care. We just need a place for them to recover and get better. We have an obligation to provide appropriate facilities so that those who are ill do not spread the disease to others in our community.
So 24-hour security will be provided to keep those guests, staff, and nearby neighbors safe. If a guest does want to leave before their quarantine is over, security is hoping to try and convince them to stay. However, they will not be holding anyone against their will. The CDC is considering changing its guidelines now for self-isolation. That would make it easier for anyone to return to work who may have been exposed to the virus, but right now are considered asymptomatic.
Because it looks at degree of exposure and really making it clear that exposure occurs within 6 feet for more than 15 minutes. So really understanding where you shouldn't be within 6 feet of people right now.
So the new guidelines would ease restrictions for some essential employees to return to work. And if they are asymptomatic, workers would still need to test their temperature twice a day and wear a face mask. The new policy is aimed in particular at workers in critical jobs. And the State Department is working on bringing Americans home who are currently abroad. That's according to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He says several thousand U.S. citizens are still abroad right now, and in some cases, they're in very remote areas. All right, a Lake Coeur d'Alene legend, finally a piece of public art. 3 years ago, you might remember this story of this giant metal die that washed up in downtown Coeur d'Alene. It went viral and sparked a series of super fun stories here at KREM. The city of Coeur d'Alene eventually put the die into storage. And as KREM 2's Taylor Vito explains, it is now on display not too far from where it first washed up.
When it comes to this metal die, what a wonderfully awesome and random journey it's had over the years. First starting near the Silver Valley, then to Driftwood Point, then Independence Point, then back in storage, and then finally Independence Point once again.
It's whimsical, I guess.
Don't call it a gamble. When it comes to the newest piece of public art in Coeur d'Alene, it's all fate.
It's a cool piece. I mean, as you're driving in town, it's right there.
They call it dicey, and as the plaque shows, it's the gift from Lake Coeur d'Alene that will keep on giving. City Parks Director Bill Greenwood remembers the fateful day 3 years ago.
There were a lot of folks I could see out there on the beach taking pictures.
The then mysterious die washed up at Independence Point in 2017. But where did it come from? We'd later learn that the die, which is believed to be an old water tank, first appeared on the shores of this property along the Coeur d'Alene River in Cataldo in 2001. During flooding of 2008, the tank then floated away and washed up at Driftwood Point. There it sat for some time before a local property owner decided to spruce it up with some white dots, making it a die. And then in 2017, it washed away and appeared in downtown Coeur d'Alene.
I think, again, it's a feel-good piece.
Greenwood says no one came forward to claim the die, so the city took possession of it. The plan all along was to place it in a park as a fun piece, but other projects got in the way. That was until Greenwood opted to stop kicking the can, or die, I should say.
I, this year, asked the staff to go ahead and get that thing up and running again so we could place it near where it came in.
The die, which weighs at least half a ton, was officially installed Tuesday, and it didn't take long for people to notice. Something that doesn't hurt right now, you could say.
You know, I think it helps our community see that we're still proceeding as normal.
And when it comes to this public art piece, talk about one that wasn't expensive to have made, not too much of a hassle to install, and one that shouldn't be controversial.
I don't think anybody, unless of course there are people that really are, don't like gambling. But you could say we're playing Yahtzee, we're not gambling.
With this dicey story in Coeur d'Alene, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
A Yahtzee. Oh, I love it. What a great story and a good, happy ending for that die. Well, what a great day to be out and about, whether you were just kind of wandering around in the sunshine or maybe out looking at the water. It was certainly really warm, warmer than I think we've had so far this year. Tom Sherry, am I right?
Yeah, I think we are. I didn't really even look at that, but I bet if we're not, we're pretty darn close. And I tell you what else, even if it wasn't, but I think it is, it still just was great to open all the doors and the windows in the house and to just get washed and waxed the car today, detailed it, just trying to find things to do, and they're all things we need to get done, right? So this weather has been absolutely beautiful, and we're out here on the back patio, as you can see. Let's get right to the satellite and radar picture. We'll show you again clear skies that are occurring across much of the region, so we're not seeing any precipitation, obviously, because we've got no cloud cover to talk about. So we'll look for mostly clear skies again tonight. If you missed last night's full moon, it's not full tonight, but it's darn close to being full. So we'll see that. You'll get another chance to see that. It was really great. What is going on here anyway? We got a lot of noises going on in the background. So 35 the overnight low. We'll look for a daytime high of 68 degrees. Candace Ann is a photographer and my better half here and has been really helping out. And what did you knock over there? Oh, a planter. Okay, we're good. For the weekend forecast, we'll look for a high of 51 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday. Beautiful tomorrow, as you saw, with a daytime high of 68 degrees. This is why we have paid professionals to run the camera and everything else. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, I didn't mean it like that at all. No, I mean, just, we're doing things we just don't normally do. That's what I'm saying.
We're all getting used to this whole working from home thing. It's not easy. It seems like it should be easy, and it is not.
I tell you, I will never take for granted our photographers ever again and how hard they work.
Absolutely.
And Candace, thank you for your hard work.
Yes, make sure and thank her. She's been great. Hey, and she even got her toenails painted, so all is well.
She did, that's right.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. We're going to check in with you here in just a few minutes.